All right, here is our low grade line. I've indicated that here by this. And here's our high grade line. And in this idea, these represents, or these values along here, along this axis, represents the total rental costs. And it does appear, in fact, they are equal at some point. Graphically, it's where these two lines meet. And if we were to find that point of intersection, we could use the output variable or the output value of that intersection to say that's what they would cost, or this is where they would have the same cost, and then the input value for that would be at how many months they have the same cost. However, let's talk about what this means, this point of intersection, and what it means in terms of the symbolic rules for the lines in terms of T and R. So total rental cost. So what I did here was find the symbolic rules that gives us the relationship between T and R for both of these. This is T and that's R as well. So here's what they look like. I mean, there's lots of calculations. So R is calculated by the initial fee added to 2 for every month. So it looks like this for the low grade. Initial fee added to $2 for every month. The high grade is the initial fee added to $3 every month. That's what came out of this. Seeing that pattern there. So the question now is, in terms of their symbolic rules, what does that mean if these guys right here are going to be the same, their rental costs? What does it mean for these guys to be the same? By the way, these are different, so I'm just going to say R1 for low grade and R2 for high grade. They don't represent the same symbolic rule, so we use subscripts for that. What does it mean for these guys? Is there a better equation that will help us find out the T value that will make these two guys equal? Now someone may come up and say, well, here's an equation. We want that. We want those two to be equal. But the problem with this equation is that it doesn't have any T variables in it. We're trying to find the T variables. But to say that their output values are the same, we could replace these output values or variables with the expressions on how to calculate these output values for these variables. In other words, we can do a cheat move and do this. There's my R1, how I calculate R1s, and how I calculate R2s is this way. And so to say that R1 and R2 are equal, it's the same thing as saying this expression is equal to that expression, and this is much nicer because we can actually solve this algebraically. And so that's the challenge here for the next piece. See if you can't start and find out how, or at least start, I should say, back up and say start how to find the value of T that makes this true, and that's the guy that makes them equal. So see if you can start it and check back with me in the next video.